Welcome everybody, I'm Fabio Viviani and you're watching Fabio's Kitchen, where every week we'll bring you an amazing dish made by me. The dish we're making today, it's one of my family absolute favorite. Spinach and ricotta gnudi, which is pretty much a translation for a naked ravioli. Why naked? Naked because the original traditional filling for Italian ravioli is 2 sheets of fresh pasta with a ricotta spinach filling. You probably heard of that. Today, we're gonna remove the pasta and give you the best naked ravioli. How are we gonna do them? First and foremost, the most important ingredient is spinach. Spinach, it's very easy to find. They grow in any condition, widely available in any grocery store. Just make sure you get baby spinach, not grown-up spinach, because baby spinach tend to be tender, sweeter, and easier to work with, especially when incorporating these in another dish. Now, for the sake of time, of course, I have cooked and chopped a bunch of spinach for you. So these are just boiled, right? This is just plain boiled spinach. So what we're gonna do with these, we are going to give it a nice chop. Now, you might ask that, what if I cannot find fresh spinach? Well, you can use frozen one. I'm not a big fan of frozen spinach though, because the quality could be a little bit dicey sometimes, and you never know how the spinach really were fresh when they got frozen. So if you can, always use fresh spinach. If not, make sure that you thaw the frozen one properly. You squeeze them out of every bit of water they have and really pay attention to the quality. It's always best if you buy a very good brand of frozen spinach. Don't go for the cheapest one, go for the more expensive one. There is a reason. You know, in Italy we have a say that can sound like, if you pay peanuts, you get monkeys. Meaning, if you always go with the cheapest product, the result is not gonna be as good as if you can spend a few extra dollars on, all right? And the dish is cheap anyway. So what I'm doing here is really nothing else than give an extra rough chop to my cooked squeezed spinach. It's very important that the spinach are cooked and squeezed. Not just cooked, cooked and squeezed. Because, why squeeze? Squeeze because if there is too much water inside, they're gonna absorb too much flour. And if they absorb too much flour, the outcome is gonna be a gummy, gooey dumpling, which is not what we're seeking for. We're seeking for buttery, smooth, melt in your mouth kind of dumpling, all right? Now, the second best ingredient for spinach gnocchi, ricotta cheese. There is a lot of ricotta cheese out there. There is fresh ricotta cheese. There is impastata ricotta cheese. There is ricotta cheese made for cannoli. There is all kinds of it. Just get the drier ricotta you can find without being salata. You don't want ricotta salata. You don't want the wheels of ricotta that you can grate. You still want a pasty one, fresh ricotta. Do not buy anything that is super wet. You already know why, I just explained it to you. Then what we do here, we're gonna add one of my favorite cheese of all time, Grana Padano. Grana Padano is a hard Italian grating cheese, which add a ton of nutty flavor and add the tons of minerality to the dish. This is a natural way to almost not add any salt to the dish. Then we're gonna add a little bit of crushed pepper. We're gonna squeeze we're not gonna squeeze a nutmeg. You can't squeeze a nutmeg, it's a nut. You can't squeeze it. It's not like a lemon, you just squeeze it, it's a nutmeg. So we're gonna grate some nutmeg inside. Nutmeg is great for flavor, add tons of aroma to it. And if you're not paying attention with the microplane, you give yourself a nice manicure. Not a nice one, but still a manicure. Nutmeg is one of the nicest spice out there. You know, it's called a nut because it's what it is. It's a nut, and it has an incredible aroma of earthy, deep toasted seeds. And nutmeg, if you're not familiar with it, you probably know eggnog. Of course you do. You probably booze all the time through the holiday, and eggnog is one of the favorite booze of America. So the reality is that nutmeg is what creates the nutty flavor in eggnog. Now, I'm adding 1 egg. Adding 1 egg to the mixture. And at the same time, I am going to brown some butter for my sauce. I'm going to get a piece of butter, few pieces of butter actually, and I'm going to brown them with a little bit of sage. Sage. You can, yeah, I guess you can peel it. You can even throw it inside whole. I don't really care. It doesn't matter if you put it with a stem. Don't eat the stem. Clearly you're not a goat. If you don't put the stem in it, you can eat the outcome, which is fried sage leaf, which is a vegan kind of bacon. You're asking me, kind of tastes like bacon once they're fried, but not quite like bacon. But I guess if you're vegan, you don't mind. So the egg yolk here now and the egg white is going to kind of create almost like a collagen effect among all the other ingredients, right? Here's the fun part, all right? I'm gonna add a little bit of flour to it. Now, a very important thing for this dish is to heat up the pan that you're gonna cook this in. There is two train of thoughts about cooking nudie, naked ravioli. The first train of thoughts is to shape them in the form of a cigar, rolling them, cutting them, and drop them in hot boiling water. Well, that is okay. The problem I have with it, it's very messy. It will create a mess in the kitchen. And it's not always very reliable because if you haven't put enough flour, but you don't want to put it too much either, what's going to happen is that you're going to have a very gooey gnocchi, or if you haven't put enough of it, what you're going to have is pretty much something that is going to completely dissolve in the water and create a mess. So what do I do because of it? I sear my nudie in a hot pan. So once my flour is nice and combined, this is why. Look at this beauty here. Brown butter. You know why it's called brown butter? Because it's brown. Easy. It's brown because the protein in the butter, casein, the milk protein inside, they're cooking and they give the beautiful nutty aroma. I'm gonna add a pinch of salt to it. And I'm gonna add a little bit of pepper as well. Color is always flavor. Look at this beauty. Now what I'm going to do, I'm going to add a very little piece of butter to this. So you're going to start to kind of melt a little bit. And here's what we're going to do. We're going to learn how to do quenelle. What's quenelle? Another French word. Really, Fabio? Another French word? Wait. Here's what we're going to do. We're going to get 2 spoons. We're going to get some of these. And you're kind of going to create a kind of, kind of a quenelle. But, I mean, who's French here, right? So here's what we're really gonna do. Throw away. We don't like French technique in Italian food. Spoon, we don't need it. Or maybe we do, but we don't. So you see how nice and brown the butter is right now? Now we shut the fire off. And we increase the fire under this butter here. Right? There, so here's what we're gonna do now. You're gonna remove your wedding ring if you have it. And if you're wondering why I have a black wedding ring, no, my wedding and my marriage is just fine. It just matched my watch. See, black on black? You're welcome. Fashion tips by Fabio Viviani. And now, I'm gonna get a little flour on my hand, just like that, with the use of a spoon. I'm gonna get a piece of that. Look at that. Boom. And I just made a dumpling. And what we do with this, we put it in the pan. Then I'll make another one. Very easy. Boom, in the pan. Look at that. Oh my God, is that easy, Fabio? What? Yeah, it's that easy. In the pan. Look at that. Another one. French out there, that you use 2 complicated devices such as spoons in order to make dumpling. Use your hand. You got a hand sink there. You can wash that. You know that quenelle is fancy, and that's what they teach you in fancy French school, but we don't care.
Maybe something like the this is why we've been fighting for centuries over here.
This is why Italy and French have been fought forever on everything, from cars to clothing to wine to food to women. Soccer, hello? No, I'm sorry, too soon? Did I bring up soccer? That's bad, Fabio, I'm sorry. All right, so here's what we do now. Here you go. And you want to create them all of the same size, like about a tablespoon, right? Like that. Perfect. Now, we don't need to do them all. Now, I'm going to just clean my hand, my precious hand. Like how Beyonce, I think Beyonce or Jennifer Lopez, somebody has an insurance on their butt. I should have insurance on my hand, for real. Like literally. If I lose my hands, show's over. Nobody eats. People are going to riot. There's going to be a siege in California. So here we go. Now I'm adding a little bit more butter because while I do want the flavor of brown butter, I still need liquid to cook my spinach. And that's nice and brown. Look how nutty brown that is. Here's what we're going to do. I'm going to add a little bit of water to that. Now I have a beautiful brown butter. I'm going to add a couple of more pieces to even create a more emulsion. I'm going to just turn this on. Look at this. You see how nice and caramelized they're getting? You see that? See that? You know why I don't put them in the water? Because if you put them in the water, they're going to get nice and soggy. I like them caramelized and crisp like that. Look at this beauty here. Now let me get a plate. First of all, always work clean. If you have an army of dishwasher, that's better. Thank you guys for your services. If you don't have an army of dishwasher, clean as you go. Am I the best at cleaning? No. But I can't be the best at doing everything. Food's awesome. It's all that matters. We can throw the plate away or eat on plastic plate. The only reason why I have fancy plate is because after this we have to take picture of the food to make your mouth water. If it was at my house, who cares? I eat off the pan. It's no big deal. All right, so look at this. Beautiful sauce there. Now we gotta let this cool down for a minute. All right, and now check this out. So, I want to sacrifice one for the sake of the team. So let me show you this, right? So if I put this right there, if you touch, so the outside is nice and crunchy. See how crunchy it is? It's nice and crunchy, right? See that? But if I cut it through, boom, look at that. Ooh, look at that. Look at that. Ho, 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 ho. Here's what we're going to do. First and foremost, we add some grana padano cheese. What? Yes. Before we add the sauce, look at this. On the plate like this. Then, we're going to add a little hot pepper. A little fresh pepper. Boom. Done. Then, we're going to get this. And I'm going to use the exact same spoon that I eat off of it, because this is my dish and I double dip as much as I like. Look at this. And now, brown butter sage. What? Last but not least, a little bit fresh olive oil to it. Look at this. Spinach and ricotta gnudi, everybody. Fabio's Kitchen. You're welcome. Boom.